What will it take? The will to do it. In order for you to build a new future for yourself. The will to do it. What will it take to grow your organization? The will to do it. What will it take for you to begin to get that new home that you envisioned for yourself? The will to do it. What will it take for you to generate enough income so you can walk away from this job that is no longer you? The will to do it. I'm going to ask you a question that I want you to say with conviction. The will to do it. What will it take for you to live the dream that you want to live? The will to do it. What will it take for you to earn enough money that you can tell your husband, baby, you don't have to go to work anymore? The will to do it. What will it take for you to generate enough income to say to your wife, you're going to have that vacation home and that car that you envisioned, and you don't have to hit another job forever? Shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, I have the will to do it.
I have the will to do it.
Everybody hold up your right index finger. You don't do anything else, do this. Hold up your right index finger. It's very important. Put it in your ear. Follow me on this. You have greatness in you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. You have the ability to speak to people and to present to people and to give people hope. You have the ability to build a powerful organization, to earn more money. You have the ability to reinvent yourself and to generate the next greatest expression of who God wants you to be. The best for you is now here right now. Your best years have not been lived yet. They're in front of you. And this is your time. This is your hour to change your life. You have the power to change your destiny. Take your finger out. I had you do that because I didn't want to go in one ear and out the other. Mr. Brown, yes sir. What do you want to do with your life, young man? I want to buy my mother a home. How do you plan to do that? I like to be a disc jockey, sir. I listen to radio all the time. I like to be a disc jockey. He said, you got to be hungry. Let us say together, you got to be hungry. Say it again.
You got to be hungry.
I said, what do you mean by that? He said, people that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. People that are hungry are willing to be unstoppable. People that are hungry believe, always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. People that are hungry are always looking for opportunities on how they can create something new for themselves. People that are hungry are selective of the people that they keep company with because they know you earn within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends. People that are hungry know if you're the smartest one in your group, you need to get a new group. So you want to be a disc jockey? I said, yes, sir. He said, I want you to listen to motivational messages every day. He said, be not conformed to this world, be transformed by renewing of your mind. You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. He said, here's something else, write this down. OQP, only quality people. You serious? Associate with only quality people. If you're serious about your goals, you don't want to be around people who don't have goals, who don't have dreams, who are operating within their comfort zone. You want to be around people who are managing their time. You want to be around people who are talking about where they're going and what it's going to take for them to get there. You want to be around people that will feed your energy, that you will motivate and encourage each other. I said, yes, sir. He said, here's something else, Mr. Brown. I said, what is it? He said, develop your communication skills. Because once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. I can say to you as leaders, I can say to you as entrepreneurs, Present as often as you can. Why? Because that will enable you to attract more people. You can volunteer and speak to organizations about your business, about the opportunities, about what you're doing, and how it's going to be of value to them. And here's some tips when you speak. Write this down. When you speak, people are asking 3 questions. Who are you? What do you have? And why should I care? Who are you? What do you have? And why should I care? And you as an entrepreneur, you want to be succinct and effective in telling people who you are so that you can develop a level of trust and confidence. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. When I started out, I've been telling you my story. Why? Because you need to get to know who I am in order for me to have a level of credibility. And some of you do this already. Here's something else. Write this down. Never make a point without a story, and never tell a story without a point. When you're speaking, you must be strategic. As you talk about the product, as you talk about the business, as you talk about why you decided this is something for me, this is a fit for me. See, all of us can learn to do these things. And I can tell you that generated millions of dollars. I had no idea. The ability to communicate will have that kind of power and influence. And so, I followed the directions and many other techniques that he shared with me. And he said, I've done all I can do for you now, young man. It's time for you to go out to the marketplace. I went to apply for a job on Miami Beach. Milton Butterball Smith was the program director. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. He said, young man, you have any journalism in your background? I said, no, sir, I don't. You have any experience in broadcasting? I said, no, sir, I don't. But I would like to audition for you, sir. Just give me a shot. Let me show you how good I am. I visualize it every day. I practice every day. He said, no, we don't have any job for you. How many of you have been rejected? Raise your hands, please. I was devastated with rejection. I went back to Mr. Washington and said, Mr. Washington. He said, no. He said, don't take it personally. Most people are so negative, they have to say no 7 times before they say yes. He said, you got to be hungry. Go back again. I said, yes, sir. I went back again. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. I know what your name is. Weren't you here yesterday? Yes, sir, I was. Didn't I say no yesterday? Yes, sir, you did. Then why are you back today? Well, sir, I don't know whether or not somebody was laid off or somebody was fired, sir. No one was laid off or fired. Now get on out of here. I came back the next day, talking loud, looking happy, like I was singing for the first time. I said, hello, Mr. Butterball, how are you? My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to get this jockey. I know what your name is. Didn't you tell me this the other days? I said, yes. Didn't I say no? Yes, sir. Then why are you back today? I said, sir, I didn't know whether or not someone got sick or someone died, sir. No one got sick or died. No one was laid off or fired. Now don't you come back here again. I came back the next day, talking loud, looking happy, like I was singing for the first time. I said, hello, Mr. Butterball, how are you? He looked at me with rage. He says, go get me some coffee. I said, yes, sir. My favorite book says, the greatest among you will be your servant. How many of you are serious about your goals? Raise your hands, please. Write this down. Provide more service than you get paid for. Provide more service than you get paid for. This is relationship marketing. This is not about pushing products. It's about listening, asking questions, being strategic and experiential in your communication process. Getting to know people. What's their dream? What's stressing them out? What do they want out of life? What's got them under pressure? Getting to know them and sharing with them who you are and why you care about them. Steve used to say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that caring, speaking from your heart, that caring, that communication from your heart, it makes a difference in how you can create the connection with people. And so it was interesting. So I became the errand boy for the disc jockeys. I just wanted to get my foot in the door. I was going to get their lunch and their dinner, and I would watch them working the controls. I wanted to learn. Everybody, repeat after me, please. I expect to reach my goals. See, I was determined that one day I was going to be behind that microphone. So I was watching and learning everything that I can. You need to, I suggest, if you're not doing it already, watch and learn and implement the techniques and the strategies of what the leadership has been talking about. There's no secret to success. There's a system to success. The people who cross the stage, they're not exceptions. They are examples of what's possible for you if you're coachable, if you're willing to implement it, if you're willing to fail your way to success. Because that's the name of the game. And then one weekend, they came out of the parking lot, and their cars were waxed and clean inside out. Hey, who did this? I did, sir. How much do you charge? Oh, nothing, sir. I just want to help out. Write this down. Build relationships. Give before you ask. I was building a relationship with them. And so I wanted them to see I'm a resourceful person. I'm a person that you can count on. I'm a go-to person. And so they said, look, Diana Ross and the Supremes and the Four Tops are coming to town. I want you to pick them up. Here are my car keys. Take them to the Fontainebleau Hotel on Miami Beach. I said, be my pleasure to serve you, sir. I was driving these entertainers in the disc jockeys, big long Cadillacs. I didn't have any driver's license, but I was driving like a Then one day, it was a Saturday afternoon, a disc jockey by the name of Rockin' Roger was drinking while he was on the air. Rockin' Roger began to slur his words. He's about to fall off the chair. It was a Saturday afternoon, and I was the only one there. Looking at him through the control room windows, walking back and forth, young, ready, and hungry. I was saying, drink, John, drink. Drink, Rock. I'd go and get him some more if they'd asked me to. Then pretty soon the phone rang. It was a general manager. And I answered the phone. I said, hello? He said, young boy, this is Mr. Klein. I said, I know. He said, Rock can't finish his program. I said, I know. He said, would you call one of the other DJs in? I said, yes, sir. I hung the phone up. I said, now he must be thinking I'm crazy. I called my mom and my girlfriend, Cassandra. I said, y'all come out on the front porch and turn on the radio. I'm about to come on the air. I waited for about 20 minutes, and I called him back. I said, Mr. Klein, I can't find nobody. He said, young boy, you know how to work the controls? I said, yes, sir. He said, go in there and segue the record. Don't you say nothing here. I said, yes, sir. I couldn't wait to get old Rock out of the way. I put on a fast record. I said, look out, this is BLB Triple P. Let's round your platter playing pop. There were none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Youngins ain't gonna love to make a certified, bona fide, duly qualified to bring you satisfaction and a whole lot of action. Look out, baby, I'm your love man. I was hungry. How many of you are hungry for your dreams? Stand up right now if you're hungry for your dreams. How many of you are hungry for a new life? you. You have to be hungry. You have to be hungry. The average immigrant who comes to this country, who can't speak the language, who does not know the culture, have a 4-time greater chance of becoming a millionaire than the average American, because they're hungry. When you're hungry, you have an achievement-driven mindset. When you're hungry, you don't allow weapons of mass distractions to stop you from pursuing your dream. When you're hungry, you're willing to learn. You're selective of your relationships. I don't know what you want to do. Here's what I know about you, and I don't know you. I used to be an audience just like you and listen to speeches. Gone to seminars, read books, and still do. And here's what I'd like to leave with you. I believe that dreams are from God. And a dream that's placed in your heart is also accompanied with the provision for the dream to become real. Don't try and figure it out. Don't try and be logical and practical and realistic. No. No. Commit yourself. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and I thought you'd be established in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Don't try and convince people to do this business. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. They know who they are. They know they're not willing to do the work. Don't act desperate. You have a spiritual tribe. There's certain people, when I speak, they're going to hear me and respond. But you have an energy signature. There's certain people that when you speak, they're going to hear you. Not in their ears, but in their heart. And they're going to respond. I'm telling you what I know. That's how I was able to buy the home for my mother. 10,000 square feet. I'm not telling you this to impress you, but to impress upon you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. So, everybody repeat after me, please. I'm grateful.
I'm grateful
for this opportunity.
for this opportunity.
How many of you are grateful? Raise your hands, please. And here's something else that I suggest that you do. The person who recruited you, they saw something in you. They don't just recruit anybody. They saw greatness in you. And make sure you find them and thank them and say, I thank you for seeing the greatness in me. And we're going to go big. We're going to grow this thing together. I'd like to ask Tal to come to the stage and Alec to come to the stage. Let's give you visionary leadership for the minute round of applause. Everybody hold your hands toward them. Hold your hands toward them. Say, we love you. We love you. We believe in you. We believe in you. you were two men who are honest, who believe in you, who've created and structured an organization where people are working with one voice, one spirit. People are working to cooperate, not to compete with each other. People are working in unison to create something that's powerful. Your voice is needed. More people died in the United States last year from traffic accidents, from suicide than traffic accidents. Something's wrong with that. We live in the greatest country on the planet, and you're part of an organization that's giving people hope and methods that allows them to create a life for themselves. So, I'd like to, how many of you like positive messages? Raise your hands, positive messages. I want you to go to my Facebook, brown.less. And every day we have a new motivational message. And some of you have seen some flyers that have that in your seat. And those of you who get this product, we're going to teach you techniques on how to become an effective communicator. How many of you like to learn how to tell your story? Raise your hands, please. Very good. We're going to share with you simple, practical steps that I've learned that will help you to grow your business and have explosive growth. I believe in these two gentlemen. I speak for a lot of organizations, and I have respect for them. I talk with friends who are part of this business. You're in the right place at the right time. And so, I'd like to leave this with you, but I don't know what your goals are. I don't know what your dreams are, but my mother loved this. And I'm so glad that you have part of your program, of your social contribution. Mama was a 22-year breast cancer conqueror. Leslie, yes ma'am, Mama. Say a thing for me, boy, that makes me feel good. I dedicate this to you and to your dream, that dream that's in your heart. It says simply this: if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, lose all your terror of the opposition for it. And if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famine, love, sickness and pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God, you'll get it. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. God bless you. God bless you.